Grand Rising, beautiful souls, divine here. September 26th at like 10:32 a.m. I'm in Miami. Yesterday afternoon, I received my first cramp. Last night while I was in the gym, I started spotting. This morning when I woke up with a migraine, a step-by-step process of having your flow. I feel compelled to describe. I feel compelled to describe what a flow feels like. I know this might seem strange or something, but you know me. I've always talked about my flow and the process of my flow. So, if you've been on my channel before, you know I talk about these things, and I don't know if it's probably been a minute since I've made a video about flow. Oh, I got a crack. I like it when my neck cracks. Oh, better body release. Be great. I know, I got a polka dotted blanket. I got polka dotted pajamas somewhere. It'd be really cool if I could find them and do a photo shoot together with polka dotted blanket and polka dotted pajamas. I know, that's like the corniest thing, but that's what went in my head. I was like, polka dots. Black and white polka dots. Anyway, aside from that, just a detour effect. I can't handle that light in front of me, even though it makes the view better. I just can't do it. Breathing is probably the only thing that really gets me through these processes. Like, there's some other little things that I might do, like changing the air, getting something to drink, taking headache medicine, which I wish I wasn't doing. I haven't set up my kitchen yet, so I haven't been able to make my own pain medication yet. I've been doing research on it for the past couple of years. I'm finally gonna stay back to center and speak slow as the process fills my body. So, it's not, I'm feeling the process of my flow. It's not a shooting pain or like all these things like that it used to be. So when I was a teenager and I first got my flow, I got my very first one the day before I started eighth grade. Yeah, 8th grade. The day before I started, no, 7th grade, sorry, 7th grade, because it was this day before I started middle school. And back then, middle school started in 7th grade. 6th grade was still part of elementary school back then. I know it's different now. Yeah, it was the first time I got to shave my legs, and I was getting ready for middle school, and I was going to be riding my bike to school, and I was having these cramps, and oh, it was so much pain. It hurt so bad. I didn't understand what was going on with my body. I would go to school, and people started calling me hunchback because I couldn't stand up straight. I'd be in so much pain. Well, the years have evolved. I'm 51. I'm still 51. I will be 52 next week. Is my birthday. Yay! My birthday's in 6 days. Yesterday was 7. Today is Friday. Yesterday was Thursday. It's a Thursday. So in 6 days will be my 52nd birthday. Yeah. Yes, I'm 52 and I still get my flow. And no, I have not felt menopause. Many of my friends are like, oh, you're menopausal. I'm like, oh yeah? Describe what's menopause. Oh, you get hot flashes, you gain weight, that hasn't happened to me. So, it's not like I feel any symptoms of menopause. To me, that term was a psychological game that the corporate companies came up with to push products to the consumer. That we'd be so overwhelmed with this information that that's all we could do. And doing it with my eyes closed so I can speak more clearly to the words that come to me to explain what I'm trying to speak. So, back to this process. As I said, I don't feel any of that type of pain that I felt as a teenager when I started my flow. It's not the same. Am I hitting the same areas? Because, like, I can feel my uterus filling up with the blood as the egg releases it, right? So it dissolves into the uterine lining, and that's how it comes out. It hasn't started flowing out yet, but I can feel it filling up. And that's one of the things that I love about doing free flow is I can actually feel my flow and how my flow works. When I was younger, I was still getting used to it. I was still trying to understand it. It was just so much overwhelming. Yeah, I try to open my eyes and I start losing focus. It was so much overwhelming sense of the senses. Like, because in school they teach you have five senses, smell, sight, touch, taste. Smell, sight, touch, taste, feel. Smell. Yeah. Anyway, we have more than 5 senses. Hearing, right? Hear, smell, touch, taste, see, right? Those are the basic 5. Those are what comes with the human, the human body. That's what they teach you in school. But we have so many more senses than that. Like, if you do your research, they've identified 15 different senses. I'm sure there's more than that, but those are the ones that have been identified. it's crazy because like right now, so I'm using my fingertips to touch where my if my fingers would be able to go through my head, they would be touching my pineal gland literally. Right now they're touching it energetically and going up and down my spine as my body is interpreting, recording memories that are unresolved and that want to be released, because they're blocking my third eye opening. Okay? So, as I'm going through this process, trying to explain the process of flow and what it does to the body and how to feel. I don't know if you've heard of the tapping. I think it's called EMF. Go do research on it. I won't necessarily say Google because Google's biased, but it is what we generally use. There are other search engines that aren't as biased as Google, but I don't know what their names are. So I'm tapping these first energies going from my pineal gland to my third eye to help relieve that. And scratching the head helps a lot too, to open up the receptors in my head, to loosen up the blockages, because as I said, I woke up with a migraine, and yeah, I had a lot to do with the sinus pressure, because sleeping in my car in the small quarters, I don't know, every time I open my eyes I lose focus on what I'm saying, so apologize for keeping my eyes closed, but it gives me a better direct connection, staying focused on what I need to say or want to say, feel that is I'm compelled to say, I should say, that I am more compelled to say certain things, and things come out easier if my eyes are closed. But it is getting hot in here, so I do need to adjust my air conditioning a little bit. Ouch. Put the fan up one more. Hopefully it won't mess with the volume too much. The sun's starting to come up more, so it's making the car on the outside a little bit hotter, and I don't want my doggy to overheat because I can feel the heat under my armpits. So I know that I needed to add some more air to the room in the process. Centering myself back to where we were. So as I do the tapping from my occipital, because I also, want to work on the posterior points around the back of my head where the skull and spine meet, and work with that mobile joint area, because it's a very interesting pivoting point. If you do research on how your head works, you understand what I mean. I just close my eyes and I take my time and I breathe through it. So I'm putting both of my thumbs, I don't know if you, right underneath. I'll hold one so you can kind of see. So it's easier if I put my finger, put it like right here, where it's kind of, so your jawbone is here, right? So that's the mobile mandible, right? So then right back here behind the ears, you can feel a point in the skull, right? That line goes back up, and around to the pivot, right? So it's like yay big, and then you feel the muscles coming down. Hair's getting in the way, so you have those muscles there. So I'm just like hitting those points on both sides and like stretching them and easing them out because they're getting overstimulated with information from my body right now. So I'll work that area and I'll cup it and squeeze it with both hands like so. And I'll switch hands, you know, because left and right, it gives different angles, and move my head flow to slow down the information that my body is sending my brain. And so my body and brain can process more slowly together. Because, you know, and then I like to twist. I use my hand to base on, because I'm in the car, on the other seat so I can get a better twist, and I'll put my elbow on the steering wheel to push for a better twist. And then roll the head back and forth in the twist. And then I'll put my elbow to the other steering wheel. And then, because I'm in the car, my seeds are falling, sorry. And because I'm in the car, I'll put the other hand over by the seatbelt and hold it that way so I can get the twist. And then hold on to the steering wheel to arch my back. And roll my shoulders forward and back. And then bringing my elbow above my head, slightly pulling in either direction, whichever feels more comfortable. Yeah, and it's okay if you can only go to here. I've been doing it my whole life, so I'm a little overextended on certain stretches when I do things, so don't think, oh, I'm not as flexible. Bro, I've been doing these things since I was like 2 with my grandma, so. And I kind of do the shoulder roll thing. I know it's hard to see with the long sleeve shirt. Well, it slows down the flooding of information to the brain just a little bit. The lighting was becoming too much. The headache is becoming intense. Like, it's not... Sorry, I had to spit. Some of the mucus from the tears was kicking back from my nose. And I had to clear some of the morning goo from my eyes. My nose is clear, so there's nothing to blow out, but I could feel like the mucus like wanting to drip. I am so descriptive because I give myself permission to be descriptive. So, in past relationships, they taught me to be suppressive, oppressing myself with the words I speak. But now that I am me, for me and me, with my little Ray, my doggy, I speak more freely of my self-expression and what my body does. Because I noticed that if I felt depressed by it, that means someone else does. And if they're to hear me speak freely without the oppression of what my body's actually going through, they know they're not alone. So I really, really hope that me speaking out about this helps you. Not saying I'm trying to make you speak out about anything. I'm not. And I'm just here. I'm just me. I'm just speaking. You know, how I feel and what my body goes through as I feel and what the feelings bring out of me, describing what they are. Everybody's different. But if my words and processes can give you just a little bit of clarification, understanding, and comfort, then I am beyond grateful. I'm beyond grateful that you're listening to me now, and I hope that you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I gotta start throwing that in there. I never do. I see other influencers saying it all the time, so I'm throwing it in there. Please help my channel grow. Because these things that I talk about, especially in these moments, are so important. Like, as you can see, my body has been changing as I've been feeling lighter, doing these few things as I do them. So now we're gonna continue the body check. And I'll close my eyes and breathe and check back in. So we started with the head, and we started loosening things up in there. So now, because when you're on the flow, you want to start from the top down, not so much the down up. Unless maybe you're lying down or standing up. But I'm sitting in the chair, so I'm doing it from the top down because the worst part of my pain was building up in my head. So I wanted to relieve that first to let it flow. I'm clearing the throat, giving myself permission to speak. My hand's kind of doing this over here. It's a little shaky. Processing this energy can be really intense sometimes. Sometimes we just need to fidget a little bit to continue releasing the overwhelming amounts of energies that our bodies are not used to processing. It's one of the main reasons why I became vegan, was to allow my body to be able to process the light energy better. Because if my body is busy always processing the foods that I eat, then it can't, or it makes it extremely difficult for the body, my body in particular, to process the energies that come in. Because the higher mind energies are much lighter and ethereal energies with sound frequencies, and our bodies only register certain sound frequencies. Like, for example, think about dogs. They hear a much higher sound frequency, for example. Many other animals do too, but I'm using dogs as a particular example because most people know this. And still fidgeting. It's really weird. I'm not used to letting my body fidget as much when I speak. Doing my best to not get tongue-tied. My mouth is dry, but I also don't want to break the connection. So, working in the throat chakra, feeling the lump in my throat, needing the water. Let's see if I can reach for my cup without opening my eyes. That would be beneficial to me. Where I left. Nope, not working. Didn't reach far enough. I don't know if you can see the shake in my hand. Well, the shake in my hand is more on my left than my right. And the left is where we receive, right is where we release. A lot of energy coming through my left right now. That's why my fingers keep doing this thing. If you saw things floating in my water, that was my holy basil. I always put a little holy basil in my water to keep water cleansed of impurities. I know it was in a plastic cup just because I'm a traveler and everything's packed. I know it's a poor excuse, but I'm working on it. Like I said, I've been so mobile for so long. Anyway. Throat. The swallowing of the water moves straight to my gut. And throat. There's a heaviness, there's a thickness in it. Weighs on my chest a little bit. My throat and heart are wanting to connect. My higher heart. Throat chakra, heart chakra, higher heart chakra. Higher heart is not of the first 7, it's in the 12. Truly 13. Everything's 13. But history made everything 12, so things wouldn't resonate the same. There's certain numbers you don't break down. 11 you don't break down. 13 you don't break down. They have meanings of their own. When it comes to like numerology and everything, is broken down 1 through 9. You don't break down 11 and you don't break down 13. 17 and 21 have their own meanings too, but I can't pull their concepts out yet. That's all a process. Throat. I feel more tension coming off my left shoulder, right up into my spine, coming all the way down my shoulder blade, coming back in. Breathing and loosening through that, coming down my left arm and back, radiating in. My right shoulder has a little bit of tension, but not as much. Breathing up and through it, releasing it, feeling it coming back into my spine quickly. My chest still feels heavy. My chest is more strongly connected to my solar plexus, which sits right underneath your ribs. There's a lot of heaviness in between the two. Energy is pushing super hard to go through the process. It's tight in my chest here and around my ribs here. Breathing into it, breathing through it, palpitating it, massaging it, squeezing it, loving it, connecting the shoulder blades to the ribs, releasing what's left in the shoulder blades, bringing it down, into the ribs and my spine. Hugging my solar plexus is yellow. As I hug, I can see the glowing yellow ball. Breathing between light and dark as the comfort comes in and the soothing into the hug. Processing the feeling the heaviness in my gut, feeling the heaviness more into my hips now as it flows down through. Now we're more into the sacral, orange, seeing the orange ball of light, or I should say seeing the ball move from yellow to orange as it flows. Still hugging my stomach, but putting my hand on the back of my sacral to let that energy process and through the body, bringing it down, moving my hand down below my belly button, holding the bottom of my stomach so I can feel the flow going back and forth. I can almost feel the palpitation from my gut to my hand, and readjusting my hand from the sideways position to the down position so it gets more of my tailbone flowing to the energies of my hands through my body, releasing. 2-3 deep breaths. So I breathe in through the nose, I hold, and then breathe out through the mouth. I do the process of what feels natural. I don't count. A lot of people say, oh, do the breathing like this or like that. I like to let my body tell me how long to hold, how deep to breathe in, how long to hold, and how long to release. Like sometimes I'll do a deep breathe in with a long hold, and then a very intentional release. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Now, sometimes people hold in between after releasing and before breathing in again, and sometimes they don't. If you do it in 4 parts, they call that box breathing. If you do it in 3 parts, they call it something else, because there's so many. But for me, I do intuitive breathing. My body says breathe in until it's ready to hold. And then when it's ready to release, I either let it out as my body desires, in a slow breath or in a quick push. And then my body will decide if it wants to hold empty breath before breathing in, or just straight up breathing in, or breathing in and out with no hold. I listen to what my body tells me to do at that time. And once the body is calm, then I'll work on counting if I feel it's appropriate. Yes, I'm still holding my tailbone and the bottom of my stomach. I'm going to move my hands to either hip to let that flow continue down. And when I hold my hip, I put my hand like this because I'm sitting. So I was lying down, I might put a little more behind my buttocks. But right now I'm just pushing the move from the sacral into the root. So I'm resting a little more on the leg than the hip itself. Bodily release. Burping is burping and spitting are parts of body's emotional releasing. Now, when I'm holding my hands, a little more on my legs than my hips, they've slid down a bit. So now I'll do a little bit of twisting because I'm moving the ball joints in my hips a little bit. This root chakra, let me say it's right in your groin area. Your solar plexus is in your sacral is in your sacral hips. Your solar plexus is above. Is just where your ribs meet, below your chest where your heart is. But so the root, I say, are in your sexual organs, but your sacral controls your sexual organs, so it's just below it. But what I don't talk about so much is root also controls your legs and your feet. And I don't know why it's not talked about so much. Because the next chakra that's not in the 7, that's in the 13, below your feet, I believe is the star chakra. I could be completely wrong, but I know that there's a chakra right below your feet. So your root is all of your legs and your feet. Now I'm uncrossing my legs to allow the flow from my hips down. And as I press my feet to the floor, I pull my hips in and down to the seat. Roll my buttocks back in the seat to forward to bring my hips up so my legs almost feel straight, to bring it back down. And I'll push with one foot more than the other to let the flow through the legs up the feet to the floor. And I'll continue this process so it's almost like a rolling motion between one hip to the other, one foot to the other, and release. Shake of the hands, crack of the toes, rolling of the feet, the hands. Roll the body in all directions. Feel the flow from the feet to the hands. One leg at a time to push straight on the ground and back. Yes, it would be much easier to do this on a mat, but I am in my car seat, so I do what I must. I do not know why my voice changed. I'm a little baffled by myself. But it is where I'm at. And then come back to the head to see if there's any residual. I put my thumbs right in here to the temples, and I bring it down to the jawline. Pull behind the ears and down the cheeks, over and back to the bottom jaw, to the chin, to the nose, to the eyebrows, to the scalp. Pull the hair back and bring the hands face forward down the chin and the neck, off the shoulders, across the body, down the body, out the toes, release. I can still feel the energy surging through my body, but now I have released majority of the pockets of pain that were building. Now they're just flowing through. I feel a surging through my body. It feels shaky but comfortable, like not convulsive. I can feel my stomach filling with the blood, releasing, flowing. I can feel my legs and the muscles and the energy flowing. I can feel the energy flowing through my fingertips to each other, like there's energy beams running back and forth between them. And I can set it over my head, or I can bring it back and put it into my heart. Breathe. It would be nice to lie down with this energy surge, but I am good. If you can, lie down and be comfortable. If you have a blanket, put it over you. Picture it as a full-size hug over your body to give you comfort. Just lie there, relax, and breathe. Feel the energy flow as your fingertips tingle. As the surge flows up and down your body, you feel each chakra tingle just a little bit more as it runs through you from one end to the other, loops back around like an infinite 8 through the body. As your solar plexus and your sacral are your centers of where the 8 meets, flowing up and down and through the body. Taking a nice big, deep releasing breath. Feeling yourself melting into the floor. knowing that all the space around you, from the floor to the air to all the matter in the room, is giving you one nice, big, beautiful hug. And then release. Bringing yourself back more to center. Body feeling calmer. Feel like you're more back into yourself. That you're not floating above yourself, but you're inside yourself. Thanking this moment and time for loving yourself, loving myself as we love ourselves together. Feeling that embracement. Remember, I love you, and I love me, and you love you. And I'll take care of me, and you take care of you, and we'll be good. Now as my body feels the flow of the flow, inflow, it's time for me to rest. Take your time when you decide to get up. Remember, roll to your side first. Put your hands to the floor. Roll up to your knees and then sit up. Give your body that motion of comfort. And take that ease. And bow before you rise, as you're bowing to your higher self to be complete, as you rise together to be one. I love you.